Hello everyone, today we are going to work on this thunder system in Unreal Engine. So first I'm going to create the thunder effect, and then I will work on the dynamic lighting change of the level when we see a thunderbolt, and after that let's work on the variations for the thunderbolt and also the sounds. So this I will complete the thunder effect in 3 episodes. So alright, let's get started. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for your support. Okay, so this is the rain map, rain system that we implemented with Niagara last time. So now I'm going to add a lighting effect, lighting bolt, so that actually I tried to implement lighting using two methods. One is using Niagara particles and one is just sprite, but with Niagara particles I couldn't make it look good enough, so I'm going to try a different method here, but I will share the method using Niagara particle as well later. So today let's implement it with the simple sprite, simple texture. Okay, so here this is rain. Let me create a new folder, lighting. Oh, thunder. Okay, so here I have this texture. Let me import this one. It's just a simple lighting texture that I have. Sorry, I imported the wrong one. This one. So this is the correct one. So I'm going to use this one to implement the lighting effect. And right, so first I'm going to test this the material with the simple plane. So let me just add a plane here. Move into the far side of the sky. Let's make it large enough to be able to see. No. Oh. Right, this might be good, big enough. Okay, now if I drag and drop this lighting texture, this is what happens. Right, it's rotated, so let me rotate it to orient correctly. Okay, so I'll rename this thunder. Let me open this and I'll change the preview to a plane so we can easily see that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the blend mode to translucent, because we need transparency here, including partial transparency, because so we can't use opaque. And I'm gonna change the shading mode to unlit. Right, now for the emissive color I'll just connect this color, and for the transparency I just connect one of these channels. R should do. So you can see now we have the transparency here, and we can see the lighting bolt like this. So we have to make this dynamic and illuminating. So to make it illuminating, I'll multiply this color, emissive color, with the multiplier. I'll call it emission. Let's try 5. we further increase this, it becomes like this, but let's keep it like 6 at this level for now. Okay, now the next thing is, this just appears here. Instead of it appearing like this, I want it to start from the top and move down. So how to make it happen inside the material? So here is our texture in Photoshop. So I'll add another layer on top of it, and I'll go to the gradient tool. Here, using this mode, let me draw a line. Maybe not. We need white in the edge as well. Oh no, that shouldn't be fine. Right, so if I hide this, this is the full range of our lighting. So we need this white in that area too. So this should be fine. So well, I think if I do it like this and transform it this way, we will get this much narrow effect. This should be better. Okay, now let me, right, it matches. Okay, now I'll disable this layer and save this one as a mask PNG. Now I'll import that here. So here what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna define a mask to uncover this gradually. So to do that, first I'll set the wrapping mode. Where do I have it? Yeah, wrapping mode to clamp, so that if I move this texture along the y coordinate using texture coordinates, this top side will be filled with whatever the color here, that means white, and if I move it up, this area will become black. So we can use that property to cover and uncover the thunder texture. So let me put it here, and I'll multiply this opacity with one of the channels. Let's use the red channel. Right, now to move this texture up and down, I'll add the texture coordinate node and append. Sorry, not append. Add a vector to this so we can move it. So here let's define a vector 2 parameter using append. Append vector. I'll promote P as Y and A as X. Okay, so after applying, now we have this Y. So let me go here and change Y. So as I increase Y, now you can see, now this disappears. If I decrease Y, you can see it appears. See? So now if we dynamically change this value, we can make the thunderbolt appear like this. Okay, so the material part is done. The next part is how to make it randomly how to make this randomly appear in the level. So for that, I'll create a blueprint using actor. Let's name it BP Thunder. Right, now this is the BP Thunder. Let me add a plane here. I'll name it Thunder plane. Let's set the size same as this one, which is 20. Okay, and I'll assign the material Thunder. Right, so let me put this object here. X direction of this object, let me rotate it. Right, this is the front of this object, so we need to align the thunder texture, thunder material with this front. So how should I do it? Oh, we can check it here. Let's do it locally. Zero. Oh wait, I have rotated. This object should rotate like this. Sorry, this is the one I need to rotate. Let's say 90, no, minus 90, right, and in this direction another 90. Okay, now let me put it somewhere over here so I can see that easily. Alright, now let me delete this. Oh, display, we don't need it now. Okay, now here let's copy these values, which is mesh thunder, the local changes, thunder plane, rotation changes. I'll copy this. Oh, did I move that as well? Sorry, we should move it from the default scene route. Like this. Alright, so now let me select the plane again and copy the rotation. I'll copy it back to the blueprint because that's the rotation we need to have. Alright, okay, now I'll create a custom event here. Strike. So when a strike is called, what I need to do is get thunder plane. Let's have a timeline. Using a timeline, I'm going to adjust this value. Set material, set scalar parameter value I'm gonna change this y, this value. If I dynamically change that, we will have this thunder effect dynamically. So to do that, to dynamically change it, I need a timeline. Thunder strike. So as we tested before, this should change from if I set 1, it's completely invisible. If I set 0, it's fully visible. If I set 0.1, 0.5, okay, partially visible, 4.2, 0.3. Okay, so it should reduce from 1 to 0. Yeah, that's what needs to happen. What if I make it -1? That's even better. Okay, so it should reduce from +1 to -1. It should change in that range. -2, I don't think that would make a difference. Okay. Alright, now let me go to the timeline and add a float track. Let's just call it y. Add a key -1. Sorry, at time 0 value -1, and another key. So I think we should do this within like 0.3 seconds or 0.4 seconds. Let's try 0.3. Oh no, that's complete timeline. This one at 0.3. Oh, sorry, again I changed that. Here, time 0.3, value should be -1. Oh, at time 0, value should be +1. Okay, length I'll set to 1 second so we can clearly see this. No, actually, why don't we match? Right, I make this auto, we get it like this. Okay, let's see what happens if we use values like this. Update, I'll connect this to play from the start. Value directly set y. So what I'm gonna do is, in the begin play, I'm gonna add a delay. Add a delay of random floating range. Let's say 4 to 6, no, 4 to 8 seconds, and call strike. And loop it. Okay, now when I play, let's see what happens. See? Oh wait, by default this thunder should have value 0. Alright, that is working. But once we strike, we should reduce the value. So let me make it 0.4 and add another key here. I'll set this one at time 0.4 value plus 1, and I'll make this value 1 in the beginning so we don't see any thunder. Let's see now. Okay. But I think it's a bit too fast. Yeah, so it would be better if we can leave it for some time. So let's change the length to 1 second. And let's do something like this. And let's see. Right, that's better. Well, for testing purposes, I'll reduce this length of the random event 4 seconds to let's only wait 3 seconds. 4 seconds. Right. Okay. Right. Now we can also change this emission to dynamically. So to do that, we can, this value changes from 1 to -1 and then back to 1. So what we can do here is we can use the same value to drive the emission. Let me duplicate this and the name emission. Oh wait, emission. So here this one changes from +1 to -1. So I'll add 1 here because for the emission it's better if we always have some value, otherwise this wouldn't be visible. Add 1 and then multiply it with, let's say, 50. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, that's better. We see some dynamics. So it increases and decreases and again increase before it vanishes. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this episode right here. So in the next episodes I'm gonna implement dynamically changing the light level of the level so that we can actually see increased lighting when we see the thunder. And also I'm gonna add sound effects as well, and also some variations to the lighting effect so that we can have different lighting effects randomly instead of seeing the same thing. And thanks for watching. As always, project files will be available for the download in Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. See you in another episode. Bye.